I'm Annie Fitzsimmons. I'm your Washington Realtors Legal Hotline lawyer, and today's video is another in our episode entitled Real Estate Fundamentals You Should Know. And boy, should you know this topic. In fact, I just told our producer that I don't even like talking about this topic. And why don't I like talking about this topic? Because it is so basic, it's beyond argument, and yet not only are we having arguments from brokers who fail to properly make delivery by email, we have resistance from designated brokers who are receiving emails from brokers on the other side of the transaction when the broker on the other side of the transaction is simply doing their job competently. What on earth am I talking about? Well, I'm talking, of course, about the email provision in Form 21. Form 21 says, plain as day on the face of the form, delivery by email requires delivery to 2 email addresses. Doesn't matter whether you're the buyer's broker or the seller's broker. When you're going to email a document and you expect that document to be considered as delivered, then the document must be emailed to both the broker and the firm, the identified firm's email address, every time a document is delivered, and you want delivery to count. So from the buyer broker's perspective, you've got to email to the listing broker and to the listing firm every single time you want a document to be considered delivered by email. Brokers, how hard can it be to put the broker's email address on the to line and the firm's email address on the CC line and push send? You've now made effective email delivery. Designated brokers, for your part, do not create an obstacle to a broker on the other side of the transaction doing their job by complaining about receiving emails related to the transaction. If you don't want to receive emails in your inbox, then create a different email account for your firm to receive emails from brokers on the other sides of transaction. But do not create an email account that nobody monitors. What's the purpose of the email delivery provision in Form 21? It's pretty simple. Designated brokers, you have a supervisory obligation over every real estate brokerage activity that occurs through your firm. Every time one of your real estate brokers receives a transaction document, trying to beat a deadline, trying to create a binding agreement, that your broker is engaged in the provision of real estate brokerage services and you have a supervisory authority over that conduct. To not pay attention to what's happening in transactions in your firm would likely be equated by most courts and the Department of Licensing to negligence. Designated brokers, that's the reason you are required by the statewide form system to have an identified email account for which your firm receives emails from brokers on the other side of the transaction. That email address, along with the broker's email address, must be identified on the face of Form 21 below the party signatures, both sides of the transaction, for buyer brokers and their firm, for listing brokers and their firm, 2 email addresses on each side of the form. You must deliver to both the broker and the firm on the other side of the transaction to make effective delivery by email. It is that simple. Please don't make me record a video on this topic again. If you have questions on email delivery, because I know, even though it seems obvious, there are complications that come up, send an email to me, legalhotline@warealtor.org. Thank you for being a Washington Realtors member.